said, has presented a huge number of challenges, but one of the career options that is very seriously being looked at by students now is entrepreneurship. And that is something that I really want to talk to you about, because with your experience being an entrepreneur in last 23 years, I think there's a lot that you can share with our student community today. Would you like to take us through our journey, your journey of entrepreneurship in the last 23 years, and what would be your secret sauce to persevering in this field? So over to you.
Okay, thank you, Mekha, Aradhana, Neha, and Neeraj. Thank you for all the support here. Mr. Rao, pleasure meeting you. Wonderful response. Um, and to all of you who are listening, it is my absolute pleasure and honor to be able to speak to all of you. Uh, so Mekla asked a good question around a lot of students wanting to get into entrepreneurship, and and my views on that, and especially around my journey. Now, my journey has been a long one. Um, but instead of jumping into that, let's talk a little bit about what Mr. Rao was just talking around COVID and its impact. See, an entrepreneur does one very basic thing. Entrepreneur brings an idea to life amidst all sorts of difficulties. Okay, that's what an entrepreneur does, or an entrepreneurial spirit does. And for me, and for most entrepreneurs, COVID has been a difficulty that needs to be overcome. And it has been amazing for me to see over the last 2 years uh, all sorts of ways of overcoming this difficulty. Okay, and I'll give you one example. This happened in India, in the state of Orissa. When every school closed and students were sent home, in cities and school systems, and where parents and others could afford, uh, each student had a laptop. They had an internet connection. There were Zoom classes, right? That's what most of you are used to. Well, in this community, and actually many such communities in Orissa did not have the ability to afford a laptop or a stable internet connection. Yet they did the schooling. What they did was that they converted a TV channel into a classroom. And TV is available in most houses. So this is a small example, but this is what I see, and this is the spirit which is very inspirational. It's there in entrepreneurs, it's there in communities. And so the one thing I would say around COVID is that it is another difficulty that can be creatively overcome. Of course, one needs courage, one needs perseverance, you have to have conviction, but it is not much different than other difficulties that entrepreneurs usually face. Okay, so that's something I would definitely want to add to what Mr. Rao responded. But from an entrepreneur's view, my journey, like I said, has been a long one. This is my 23rd year now. Um, I had started it early. I was out of college for 2 or 3 years when some friends and I got together and we started Emids. And I'll put it in three phases. The journey. The first phase was all about coming up with the right idea. So we had started the company with a certain idea. We realized soon that it had to be changed because it wasn't working. So we went to the next one, then the next one, then the next one. So we spent quite some time in getting to the right idea that would thrive and grow. So that was phase one. Phase two was getting committed to that idea. We saw some early success. And then phase two was all about committing to that idea and building the company with that focus. Okay. That has its own set of difficulties, own challenges, and own kind of rewards. And phase three, which is what I would say we are in now, is really about scaling up and rediscovering ourselves at a certain level. Um, so that's how I would categorize the three phases. Each has a very different kind of struggle. Each has a very different kind of challenge. And I'm very fortunate that I've had the chance to lead the company through all the three phases, and learn, how to go through each of these phases. Um, the last thing I would say, for a journey of an entrepreneur, and again, any of you aspiring to be one, um, it it really matters uh, what your true motivation is. If the motivation is genuinely about bringing a certain idea to life, you will succeed. Um, there are a lot of distractions today for entrepreneurs. A lot of people think that raising funds is a goal in itself, or making money is a goal in itself. I think those are distractions, and if that is a goal, I think I would request you to introspect deeply and then find a higher purpose before you dive into entrepreneurship. Meghla, I'll turn it back to you. Thank you.
Wonderful. I think couldn't have been better said than that,